Hello, this is Nigel, and this is Colin. We're doing another Encore Years podcast. This is about retirement and learning to love it. And we're so lucky we got Clare with us, who just has most interesting life and interesting things to talk about. And so we're really looking forward to chatting to her and seeing what we can get from it. So
Hello.
shall I kick off? Welcome, Clare. Welcome. What did you do, Clare, before retiring?
I worked in an IT company. I worked in support. So if a customer had a problem, it was down to me to find the technical resources to solve it, or constructively give them the advice to avoid the problem before it happened, being a little bit more proactive. Yes.
That was quite a big organisation, wasn't it?
It's a very big organisation. Their software will be in almost every device in your house. And I looked after sort of big companies, global companies. Yes.
Good. Okay. And then you retired. So what were the first 6 months of retirement like?
The first 6 months were quite good fun. I picked up various hobbies I've been trying to pick up. But I also give myself the permission that if it didn't turn out to be as good as I wanted it to be, I could let it go. So I took up church bell ringing, which I'm still doing. By the second month, I'd found the repair cafe and joined that. I also did a furniture recycling scheme, but found it wasn't quite what I was expecting it to be. So I gave it a few weeks and then thought, no, that's not for me. And I read a lot.
Right. Okay. And did you plan before you retired that you were going to do this, or did you have any kind of plan, or did it all happen when you started to retire?
Well, it did all happen when I started to retire, but I had been given some advice before I retired, and that was to think about a few things. So I knew I had to continue to look after my health. I would be moving less, so I couldn't lose any condition. Yeah, I needed that. I had some hobbies and I wanted to extend them, which I did. And again, if the hobby didn't work out, I just dropped it. I decided that I was going to be engaging more with friends. So it's sort of like it's a happiness thing, friends and family, just to make sure that I just enjoy keeping in touch with them and driving up and down the country if needs be. The other thing somebody said, because these are all H's: health, hobby, happiness, household. You've got to do the boring stuff. And then it's helping others. So that's when for me, it's contributing into a community or small acts of kindness and things like that. And so they were already in my mind of things, structure I would need to put in place. And as it turns out, hobbies have given me friends. Friends come on the healthy walks with me, so they've all interlinked with each other. And it's been really quite positive.
And I like the idea of, okay, to drop it, okay, to give something up, just try something new, but if it doesn't work, move on.
Yeah. And you'll learn something from that. You'll learn what you liked, but what you didn't like about it. So next time you'll refine your choice. So, yes.
Yeah. Great plan. And so did you find you missed work? You missed your career? Because obviously you're in a very high profile. You're doing a big job with big customers. Did you miss them?
It was a bit of a shock when my email inbox was empty. I was used to being driven by that. But actually, one of the friends thing is that a group of us who all used to work together, and almost all of us have retired, get together once every couple of months and chat and gossip about work and people from work. Yes. Yeah. So we've kept that in touch. Yes.
And so do you have a typical day or a typical week now? Do you have a structure to your time?
Well, there are various things that slot in during the week. When I go bell ringing, sometimes I joined the U3A for gardening. So when I'm going to do that, there are other slots like the household when the food is going to be delivered. So there are various things like that. And then really it's just fitting what has come up in the meantime. What am I going to do? Sometimes, and I know everybody complains about this, it's hard to find a quiet day. So yeah, it's where the few things that are structured and then dropping other things in around it.
U3A is a really good source of finding learning and activities and friends, isn't it?
There are things you never even thought you needed to know about that you can just pootle along to a talk and go, well, I didn't know that. Yeah. So yes, it is. And actually that's an ideal one for You drop in, you try it doesn't work, you move on.
Right. And if your best friend or good friend was retiring tomorrow, what would you tell him?
I think I would go through the sort of the things to prepare, which is the health, hobbies, happiness, household, and helping others. It's just that you will want a structure, and you'll want a structure just so that you get up and do stuff, but you'll also want a structure so that you don't take on everything. Just because it's a good idea, you'll just burn out. So
Yes.
it is get some sort of structure.
It's
So
a good point.
Yeah.
And so what would you say is your biggest achievement, your biggest post-retirement achievement?
I think I'm happier and content and more easy to get on with. Somebody said I just looked happier in my skin. That was her phrase. Yeah. And I have the time now to be able to say, I fancy doing that, so I can go and do it. Yes.
Right. Some people have told us it's actually quite difficult if you're used to being away or the two of you apart. Suddenly you're both back together, and they've said it can take a bit of adjustment. You're right. Okay. That's good to know.
Yes, very good. Yes.
And do any of your hobbies coincide at all?
Well, more than you would think. A friend from bell ringing joined me at a U3A gardening event, and then she met somebody she knew from a different U3A group. So yes, they do tend to sort of go around in a bit of a circle, yes. And one of the bell ringers also goes to the repair cafe.
One of the beekeepers.
Yes, there's a bell ringing beekeeper.
It's a small world, but a lovely one. Yes.
Yeah, it sounds really, really good and happy retirement.
What I felt was I'd worked out of the town for 20, 30 years, but within about 2 months, I felt as though I was in the town with people I knew or making new friends in the town. So I felt much more grounded.
That's the town as in Twickenham.
Yes, yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Away for 30 years or working away backwards and forwards. But when it stopped, you were happy and contented where you were.
And I made very quickly lots of new friends and contact within the town.
Great. Right. And so what's next for you, Claire?
What's next is probably improving my skills in church bell ringing and getting the garden nicer and using it more during the summer. And that's really about it. I might send myself off on tour this summer to go and see some of the family up and down the country. Might look forward to doing that and behaving disgracefully with a few school friends. Yeah, so that's sort of what it's in. It's just more of the same.
Right. But with a lot of contentment, and we can see in your face happiness in where you are, which is wonderful lesson.
Yeah, it's very good to see how contented you are. It's very encouraging.
Many years ago, I spoke to a colleague and I said to him how positive he always was. And he said he'd made a conscious decision to be positive. So there can be lots of things happening in your life, lots of different boxes, but they don't all go unhappy at once. So, there may be difficulty in one box, but the others are fine. And it's just remembering that. And he was right. You make a conscious decision to be positive.
Yes. I'm going to make a note of that. Nigel, positive, happiness.
Be positive.
You're a pretty positive person, Nigel. Well, yeah. Oh, yes. Yeah.
Try to be.
But you have to remind yourself, I think. I do, because I can slip in the negative. So I have to push myself sometimes to say, come on. I think that's certainly for a number of people I know, that is their, I know that highlights their retirement in how are you? And you dare not say, how are you? Because you just get a catalogue of stuff that you don't really want to know about. And they're desperate to tell you about all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
I've really enjoyed listening to you, Claire, and I've definitely learnt from you. And I know that people who watch this will learn from you as well. So thank you very much indeed. It's been marvellous.
My
Really
pleasure.
good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks for your honesty and openness and ideas. And we love the H's. We'll definitely highlight the H's from now on. And now, brother, do you think we're done? We're done. So it's encore and out.
Encore and out, and thank you.
Thank
Well.
you. Au revoir.
Well, Nigel, wasn't that just lovely? Claire, very, happy person, isn't she?
She's delightful and very calm and happy and relaxed. And we got some good advice from her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I like the way, the way she talked about the 5 H's, and what a good simple way of doing it. But so you've got health, you've got hobbies, you've got household, you've got to do happiness, and then helping other people. So 5 H's.
So 5 H's, that's a good one. And as far as the hobbies take up a lot of her time, and she does U3A gardening, University of the Third Age, which is a great way of learning new things and making friends. Bell ringing, it figures very big, and she wants to get better at that. And she also enjoys the repair cafe, which is good, and loves reading.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And generally, she feels happier and more content now than 5 years ago when she was working.
Yes, and what she really enjoys is her spending time with friends and family and travelling to see them. Retirement makes all space to all these things and activities, which is great. I think it was an excellent interview, and how to be happy. How to be happy.
That's a good way of summing it up, Nigel. How to be happy.
How to be happy. So, if you enjoyed this, please hit subscribe. Now, brother, are we done?
We are done. So it's encore and out.
Encore and out.